said yesterday, was it Michigan, Jordan? And the Michigan GOP has asked us to intervene in a case there, so we're working on that. We already have it in West Virginia and Virginia. Serious constitutional challenges. All of that's happening because of your support of the ACLJ. So we want you to support our Faith and Freedom Drive. Very important. I'll put it up on the screen for you. We need you now more than ever. The country needs you now more than ever. The same is true for the world. And of course, Israel needs you, but also for free and fair elections. You're needed. Go to aclj.org and have your gift doubled through the ACLJ's Faith and Freedom Drive today. And also, if you can make that gift, let's say you give $50, if you can press monthly, recurring, you become an ACLJ champion, and that really almost like quadruples the impact of your gift. So it doesn't cost you more other than the monthly gift, but it does affect how we operate. So I would encourage you to do that at aclj.org, matching challenge for the Faith and Freedom Drive, but you can also make that a monthly gift to become an ACLJ champion. Andy Economos in the studio with us. He has been working on these cases involving the 14th Amendment. We are in court in Colorado. I'm not too optimistic on how that court does. I'm very optimistic how we do at the Supreme Court. But this is a huge challenge. And if Colorado were to get its way, an individual elected bureaucrat could remove a candidate from office with no oversight by a court.
That's exactly right, Jay. What we don't want is for the Secretary of State in Colorado to make the decision that unilaterally the Republican nominee, whoever that might be, it might be Donald Trump again, is not permitted to be on the ballot. And the judge out there said that she was, quote, not prepared today, that was when she made the statement, to reconcile the competing theories for how the First Amendment's free speech protections interplay with the 14th Amendment insurrectionist plan. But she said also that there's clearly a conflict. On the one hand, you have people in the 1800s who were disqualified for writing a letter to the editor. That's clearly speech. But now the law has developed. She said you have a body of law holding that standards for finding incitement to insurrection are very high, and the speech needs to be very specific. So she realizes that she's got a balancing act that she has to perform.
Let me tell you, you know where this case is going. We win great. I mean, I think we win at the Supreme Court in the United States. Jane Raskin, who is a special counsel to the American Center for Law and Justice, and has, Jordan, quite a pedigree. I'm going to play some of her argument in just a moment. You want to go over that?
I want to tell people, too, because we've been telling you about this fundraising effort, how we always want to make sure at the ACLJ as we take on these matters, whether it's a 14th Amendment case like in Colorado. Of course, we've got a team of ACLJ attorneys, but if we need to ever bring in someone who is an expert, we don't want to have to think twice about the cost. We want to just be able to make the call and get them there. They want to do the work, we know who they are, and they want to be part of the team. And now she is a special counsel to the ACLJ. You may remember Jane, we worked with very closely and very publicly with the Mueller investigation. She worked for President Trump and our team, and she also was part of the team defending President Trump in the first impeachment trial. But she is a major white-collar criminal attorney. She's been inside the Department of Justice prosecuting mobsters in the 1980s. So she's been inside the DOJ as a prosecutor. She's been an assistant U.S. attorney as well. And when we said, we need to be breed, the best of the best, even at the trial stage, because we know this is going to go up on appeal, so we have to have a great record. Let's get Jane out to Colorado. And we were able to do it, not having to think about the cost, because there's so many of you signed up to be recurring donors, ACLJ champions, and because so many of you take part in these matching challenges. So we add to our team of experts who then work with our team that was already there to take them up a level.
All right, we're going to go to the Colorado court. This is our special counsel, Jane Raskin, before the court.
And the Supreme Court has recognized under our political system a basic function of a political party is to select the candidate to be offered to the voters. Indeed, a party's ability to select its candidates implicates the First Amendment right to association. And Colorado law is entirely consistent with this. And the Supreme Court...
We're going to play, let's get some more of that, too, for the days ahead. We're going to keep doing it. There'll be more as it comes. This gave you a little bit of a taste. So, Andy, it's also a vitally important case.
It's a very important case because it sets standards that are going to be looked at around the country. And we need to set up, as Jane Raskin is doing out there, I know Jane very well, a record upon which an appeal is going to be taken. Because, as you said,
one in Israel, folks. Few organizations have the capacity to do this. We have an office in Jerusalem, so your support here is critical.
Yes, and we've been going after Hamas just the past couple of weeks in Europe through our European Center for Law and Justice that you've been supporting for decades. For such a time as this, such an important time in the United States and Israel. Support our work. Donate. Be part of the Faith and Freedom Drive. Double the impact of your donation. Go to aclj.org today. We're standing for your rights all over the world.
If something's worth doing, it's worth doing right. There's a particular time of life when trade couldn't be more appropriate. How can you know the place that we're in? All the demands you can get for life is so unpredictable. You work hard and save, watch your accounts go up and down with the market. Your advisor says, don't worry, you'll be fine. Here at Check Financial, check the mail to find out. You're not going to be able to
administration believes would benefit Hamas by allowing it to recover from Israel's intense bombardment. So they are talking about here a very narrow window of negotiating time. Now, we have done these negotiations for hostages. We have done these kind of negotiations in the Middle East and Israel, dealing with hostile parties, including the Palestinian Authority. The timing of these, Andy, is very quick. You've got to move. These are not weeks. These are hours.
Hours, literally hours. These pauses are designed or intended to be able to release humanitarian aid to be distributed through trucks to shelters and to other people.
But also for hostage release.
And for hostage release. It gives the Hamas an opportunity to release the hostages. But again, as Jordan pointed out, we are not advocating a ceasefire.
Nor is the White House.
And the White House is not advocating that either.
We were able to get a family being held hostage in the Gaza Strip whose husband was killed, a Christian who ran the Bible Society there, when a war broke out in Gaza. And what I was told by the Israeli government was, keep your phone on 24 hours, then we're going to tell you when to get on the plane. While you're on the plane, make sure your Wi-Fi's on. You're going to tell her and her children when to show up at what crossing, and see on the TV. The show.
Yeah, so these annexations are quick. Yeah, so we have uniquely, as George just said, we have done this. So we know how important this is, which is the reason why, folks, we need the resources to get these 270 people out, as many as we can help. We were told today, we thought we were going to have 5, 6 families. We told today we're up already maybe 20 or 30 that need our assistance. We need your help on this. We've got an ACLJ Faith and Freedom Drive. That's freedom in the United States. It's freedom in Israel. It's freedom around the globe. But we have got direct action. And like George said, we have done it. We have negotiated and have used those short-term cessation of hostilities. It's not a ceasefire. To get people out. Your support is critical. We encourage you to do it today. ACLJ.org/faith and freedom. Any amount you donate, we get a match gift for it, folks. If you make it a monthly gift, you become an ACLJ champion. Almost 100 of you did that yesterday.
Folks, you ACLJ champions are taking us to the next level, folks, who are becoming those recurring donations. But even if you can only make the donation once, the country needs you, you know that. The world needs you, and Lord knows, the people of Israel, the land of Israel, needs you as well. Go to ACLJ.org. Be part of our Life and Liberty Drive. Donate today.
My brother-in-law died suddenly. Now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Dad, why do your toenails look like that?
Hey, it's James. And if you're like me and suffer from toenail fungus, please pay close attention. Let's face it, toe fungus is embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off and hid my ugly toes from everybody. But nail fungus isn't just a cosmetic problem. It can also be dangerous. Even a small spot can spread and get worse. But no matter what I tried, it seemed like my fungus would never go away. Then I discovered Crystal Flush, the new and different FDA-registered at-home treatment. This unique two-step system flushes out fungus at its source and reverses damaged nails. Finally, me and thousands try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-354-1862. That's 800-354-1862. Eliminate your toe fungus once and for all, guaranteed. Call now, 800-354-1862. Or visit crystalflush.com.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters reporting the House has approved nearly $14.5 billion in military aid packages for Israel, to be offset by cuts in funding for the IRS and without humanitarian assistance for Gaza. That's requested by the Biden administration. Mr. Biden has said he vetoed the bill. Next steps are uncertain since Democrats say the GOP bill will go nowhere in the Senate. A New York jury has convicted FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried of fraud charges. The 31-year-old California man was convicted Thursday in Manhattan federal court by jurors who rejected his testimony that he didn't defraud customers. Bankman-Fried has been jailed since August when a judge concluded he'd tried to influence prospective trial witnesses. On Wall Street, the Dow by 564 points. More details at srnnews.com.
Secular at 6 on 860 AM. The Answer.
Welcome back to a lot to talk about, and we are working on a lot of things we're not even talking about yet this week on the broadcast. We'll be able to tell you about more maybe tomorrow and next week. But there's some breaking news we just got to for a little bit here, and it's great to go over this because we've got a senior counsel with the ACLJ. You know him well as a former CIA director and former secretary